turn Instagram on. Checking connection. You're now live. Okay. So, we're telling your followers that you... Okay, I always have to read that. So, I've got Facebook. I've got Instagram. Oh, and let me do the comment thing over here. Oh, hi, Trini. Hi, Mel. Let me do... Paste. Paste. Oh, I did it. Post. Now, can I pin the post? Pin. Oh! Can't believe I did it. Pin to post on both. Okay, so, hi, my name's Annelie McKenzie. I'm going to try and talk loud because I was told that my voice was kind of quiet on my trial run on Tuesday. Welcome to my art show, which I titled Summer Dolls and Flowers, and I'm going to show you 11 brand new watercolors, original paintings. I finished them 2 weeks ago, and I'm just going to sell them off at ridiculous prices. They're all going to be $1.99. In other words, $199. They're this size, they're 15 by 22, and I pinned a post to the website where you can just go snatch up whichever one you want. But I'm going to tell you all the stories behind them and everything. I had a couple of people ask about this painting behind me last time, so while I wait for people to come on, I'll just talk a little bit about this painting, which I did in 2013. It's called Art History, and then in brackets, Men's Issues. And it's a really huge, thick painting that I did when I was in grad school, based on a drawing that I did in my undergrad in about '94. In a lithography class, there was this huge stone that you have to draw on. You have to draw on a stone for lithography, and so you can't take it anywhere and draw on it, it's so heavy. I didn't know what to draw, and there's nothing in the room, there's no clutter, there's no still life, so I just started doodling scenes from my art history book. Here's the Gleaners. Who did the Gleaners? Millet. And this is David and Max Klein or something like that. I'm probably getting it wrong. Anyways, this is, I think, Degas maybe? Oh, and this is Bouguereau. Anyways, I just started doing little cartoons of all these scenes from paintings from my art history book. And so that's what this painting is behind me. It's just a whole bunch of art history doodles, which is actually relevant to the show today because I reference art history a lot in my paintings, and I have today in these watercolors. Let's see, I have some notes. Don't worry, I won't read them. Talk about that. Okay, so in today's paintings, I referenced mostly Canadian painters. I'm Canadian, grew up there. I did my undergrad at the University of Calgary. And then I moved here when I was 26, and I became a citizen of American citizen in 2017. But I have a Canadian background, and I love to reference Canadian painters in my work. And for all the non-artists out there, what does it mean to reference art in your work? It just means that there's that tradition of artists, it's called painting after the masters, and artists would sit in the museums and do sketches, sit right in front of a master painting and do sketches and try to learn from it. Nowadays, people don't do that as much, but there's still a whole thing called appropriation, not in a negative sense, just in a kind of an intertextual sense, my painting is talking to another painting, and it kind of creates its own conversation. Anyways, okay, let's get on with the show. That was my intro blathering. This is the first painting that I called Polka Dot Doll. It's 15 by 22 inches. Let's see, I'm going to come up close, slowly. And and it is signed on the back. So this original watercolor called Polka Dot Doll. I like to paint dolls because they're kind of feminine, they're girly, but they're also a little bit creepy. Sometimes they scare people, so I just like it. Erin, beautiful artwork. Thanks, Erin. What I did here was I referenced a Tom Thompson painting who painted flowers, and I sort of copied his flowers a little bit, or inspired by, I would say, or like a cover song, not a copy, but I painted his flowers and then stuck a doll into it, and I did 2 paintings of his flowers. This one is number 2. It's just called Tom's Flowers, and this one's sold already. Sorry. A couple of friends and family were really quick on the draw and bought a couple really fast. It's so calming to look at. Oh, thanks for saying that, Lori. Thank you. I can see a little bit better on this one than I can on this one. I have Facebook over here, and you're my Instagrammers. Okay, so this one's called Tom's Flowers. It's sold. Coming to you soon, Shannon. And this one is the same idea, but with a doll stuck in the midst. So about Tom Thompson, the inspiration for this painting, he's a Canadian painter associated with the Group of 7, super famous, the most famous painting group in Canada. But he was not actually a member. He died in a canoe accident before they formed the group. It's kind of, I guess it was a mysterious canoe accident because he was a really skilled outdoorsman, and no one thought that he could just die in a canoe, which, well, isn't there that girl from Glee that may have died in a canoe? Anyways, I don't want to think about that. I just saw that today, and I don't really know Glee, but it was sad because they found her son sleeping in the boat. Anyways, about Tom Thompson. So he's known for painting landscapes. So it was interesting to me when I saw that he did a couple of flower paintings, and he has this really rough impasto, thick paint style, and it's a little bit tough and rough and grody. And so I just really liked his flower paintings because they weren't too pretty. They were just a little bit yucky. So this painting is inspired by Tom Thompson, and so is this. The Group of 7 and also Tom Thompson are famous for eliminating all figures out of their landscapes. So I kind of like the idea of like putting them back in, even if they're just dolls. Okay, so this is number 1, Polka Dot Doll, available on my website, which is the pinned post. Oh my God, James is watching. Someone from his family, anyways. Hi, James. And this one's number 2. It's sold already, and it's called Tom's Flowers. And sorry, this one's sold already too. You have to be fast, but I'm still showing it to you because, well, it's one of my new paintings, and it's part of the show. And eventually there'll be prints available of these, but not yet. They're not available anywhere. But this one is inspired by an artist named Gladys Johnston, who is also Canadian, and she grew up in Salmon Arm, and I found her catalog from a show she had in the 80s at the Glenbow Museum in Calgary, and the only reason I ever found out about her is because Chris Cran, super famous, big artist in Canada, kind of grew up with her and preserved her paintings, like bought them and organized a show with the Glenbow Museum, and he has a whole bunch. I got to go to his studio and see Gladys's paintings live, and I took snapshots, and this is one of the ones that she did, and I did not add a figure to it because the swan acts as a figurine. But this one's based on some Gladys florals that I also thought had that kind of grody quality, kind of like tough flowers. So that's this one. And yeah, okay. So this one is called, it's number 4, and it's called Doll Amongst the Cherry Blossom Trees. And, oh, I didn't bring those ones up close. That's okay, because they're sold. I'll bring this one up close. So, let's see, here's slowly getting closer. She has on some gold jewelry detail there. Oh, my husband is telling me there's no Facebook audio. I'm glad he's told me this. Let's work on that. Oh, his mom called. Tell her, ask her if she can hear it now. Okay. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Facebook, rude. What do I do? How do I fix this? It worked last time. What can I click on? Oh, I'm getting hearts at least. I'm sorry, Instagrammers. Facebook is having trouble. Oh, James says he can hear.
Oh. Yeah, people are saying it.
Thank you, James. Could you hear the whole time? Igor, thank you. We can hear you just fine. Okay, well, I had these in to be a microphone, and I took it out when my husband told me you couldn't hear. So he's giving me the thumbs up. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go on. Everything seems to be fine. Maybe it's my mother-in-law's computer, I don't know. So I was talking about this one. I was showing you up close. It's signed on the back. Doll Amongst the Cherry Blossom Trees. And the background is a landscape painting inspired by Sarah Robertson, another Canadian artist who was in this group called the Beaver Hall Group, which sounds like a dirty joke, but it's for real. The Beaver Hall Group is real. And so the Canadian group of 7, that was 7 men, no women allowed. There was some discussion, should we let some women in? And they said, nah, let's not do that. But the Beaver Hall Group often showed with the group of 7, and the Beaver Hall Group had men and women in it. But the women are kind of becoming the stars now, because it's sort of like, oh, well, this is the group that had the women in it. So there's like books, and there's been shows called The Women of Beaver Hall. Anyways, I just really like how the doll contrasts with the bright pink, and I really like her dress, and so this one was a lot of fun to do. In Sarah Robertson landscapes, there's just a lot of movement, and it seems very wavy, so that's this one. That was number 4. Again, I'm selling these for $1.99. Usually, these would be sold for about $350 to $400 in the gallery or on my website. So I'm selling them for half that. Free shipping. You just click the pinned link, go to the website, first come, first serve. You can use credit card or PayPal, and I will ship them to you this weekend. This one, there's no art history to tell you about this one. This one is just a girl walking her little dog in a carriage. Something I plan to do if my little dog ever needs it. I'm going to walk him around in a carriage. I just wanted to make a landscape painting with these 2 figures in it and make it as pink and purple as possible. So that's what I did here. Okay, so here's the close-up. There's the dog. There's the face. Okay. So yeah, what number is that one? Number 5. We're about halfway through the show, folks. This one's a little bit shorter. It is 20 by 15 inches. All of these are on Arches watercolor paper. Most of it is hot press, but some of it's cold press. Not that anyone cares about that, unless you're a paper nerd. Um, so the next one is called Purple Fall Doll, and this goes back to a Tom Thompson landscape, kind of just with the weird coloring, and I kind of like how this black tree in the background kind of acts like a shadow for the doll and makes it just a little bit like kind of serene but kind of spooky. And she's an old-fashioned doll with her little, I don't know, what are these called? Culottes? When I bring this up close, I have to sort of watch I've got my iPad and my phone going. So that one's number 6. Number 7, again with the Tom Thompson. This is a doll inserted into another Tom Thompson floral painting. And what did I name it? Doll with Tom's grody flowers. So, do you guys know what grody means? If you're as old as me, you do. But I like that word grody because it's like just a little bit repulsive, but without being disgusting. So like puke would be grody, but poop would be disgusting. Okay, this doesn't matter. This is just where my mind goes, I guess. But see, I'm really into these sort of poopy colors and paired with pink, like pink and green. I'm obsessed with pink and green. When I went to grad school, I once had a professor, it was like the midterm crit, and I had all my paintings up, and I always kind of think, do my paintings look like they're all from the same person? It seems like I have so many different styles, and so he was giving me a crit, and he was kind of grumpy, and he's like, all your paintings are pink and green this, this is pink and green, it's not pink and green. And he was like saying it as a criticism, but I was like, oh good, I have a thing that's me, like I'm the pink and green artist. So I just embraced it and was so happy he said that. So I'll bring this one up close. The one with the trees is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Sophia. Oh, the bright pink is great. Love this one. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all your comments. Okay, Instagram, Facebook. Instagram. Here's all the luscious grodiness that I'm into. Okay, so, and also, I painted this flower painting twice. Again, one with a figure of a doll, and one without the figure, but with the dirty, muddy brown background, which I'm into. So these kind of make they don't have to, they can go together, they could go together, but they're kind of a pair. Anyways, this one without the doll, it's number 8 on the list, and it's just called Tom's Grody Flowers, and it's just a still life painting, basically. Bright pink is probably my favorite. It's the dream image I have always envisioned myself having in my office since I was a child. Oh, that's awesome. When I do watercolors, I like them to be like kind of messy and blobby, because if I'm not doing thick impasto clumps of paint, then I at least want the paint just sort of blobbing around on the paper. Okay, what's next? Oh, a little bit of a change of pace here. This is not inspired by a Canadian artist. It is inspired by a Victorian artist named Lawrence Alma Tadema, who he painted all these kind of glamorous women kind of posing with furs and ocean backgrounds, and it's like really dramatic, and it always kind of reminds me of a soap opera, or like I always think it was this time's Dallas, like this is the women of Dallas. Oh, some people joining. Whoa, hi, waving back. So I've painted the inspiration painting like 3 or 4 times now. This is the 3rd or 4th time. I've done a really humongous one in oil paint, a small one in oil paint, and now this is a watercolor. The original inspiration painting is called Unconscious Rivals, because these 2 girls are kind of fighting for the same man, I guess. And I just called it Frenemies. It's kind of like got this classical architecture in it, and this is like a relief behind them, and a statue of some kind of Cupid. Okay, so there's that one close up. Lawrence Alma Tadema, he also taught his daughter to paint. His wife was a painter. Actually, here's a fun fact. Do you know Alan Funt from Candid Camera? He was a big Lawrence Alma Tadema collector. His accountant stole a bunch of money from him and then committed suicide. But, and then Alan Funt had to sell off his art collection of Alma Tademas in order to get some money, and so it put like a whole bunch, like 35 or something, like 30-something Lawrence Alma Tadema paintings out into the world, whenever that was, maybe the 70s or I don't know, 80s. And there was kind of like a comeback. But this is my version of a Lawrence Alma Tadema painting. So it refers to art history, it's intertextual, it's, you know, it's all that fun intellectual stuff, right? Okay, 2 more. This one's number 10. And it's called Doll Under Tom's Tree. It is watercolor, 15 by 22 inches on Arches paper, signed on the back in pencil. And this one again is a doll kind of dissolving into a Tom Thompson painting. And again, I sort of like these grody colors, like this orange, like it's almost neon orange. And I like that the doll kind of dissolves, and then the tree kind of comes forward as the figure almost. The tree becomes the main figure. Wonderful art. Thank you, Igor. So bring this one up close. I feel like this doll is kind of like melting a bit. It's like, it reminds me of melting ice cream. And so that one is number 10 on the list. Oh, and well, okay, this last one's weird, okay? Let me explain myself. Don't judge me. Okay, so I started out with these pink squiggles. This is like a neon pink gouache. And I really just wanted to do an abstract artwork. I love abstract art. I don't do it that often, but I keep trying to find my way with it. And so I started with these paint marks. I just wanted them to be marks on the page. But then I just didn't go fully abstract. I thought, oh, I'm going to put that same landscape in the background to see what it looks like. So the same Tom Thompson inspiration that's in the background of this one, same for this one. I wonder if I can show them both. So this one's got a doll, this one's got pink squiggles in it. But I mean, it's kind of fun. I kind of like it. I like that you kind of can't tell if these squiggles are in the landscape or in front of it or melting into it. The abstract style is one that I can totally relate to. Thank you, Sophia. And I just kind of laughed at it when it was done, but I still like it. But I called it Crazy Peeing Landscape, okay? That's what I called it. Because you know why, right? But this one's a lot looser, lots of splashes and drops and drips. It's a maze. Oh my god, thanks, Adrian. So that one's the last one. That one's number 11. And so, yeah, that's number 11. So I guess we came to the end. Just to review, I am just selling these off. 2 of them are already gone. So there's 9 left as far as I know. And I put the link pinned at the top of this post. And it should also be in the title of these videos. And yeah, each one is $1.99, free shipping, and it's yours, and that's it. And I guess I can read comments or answer questions since we're live. Love your colors, enjoyed your talk. Thank you. So cool. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for supporting me with your comments. By the way, my friend made these earrings. Bianca Moscatelli. Aren't they cool? She's also a Chihuahua mom. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for looking at my art. Maybe I'll just really quickly show you each one, because that could be fun, right? So this is number 11, Crazy Peen Landscape. This is number 10, and it's Doll Under Tom's Tree. This is number 9, and I called it Frenemies, after Lawrence Almatadema. This one is called Tom's Grody Flowers. This one is called Doll and Tom's Grody Flowers. This one is number 6, and it's Purple Fall Doll. Let's get a bit closer. This one is number 5, Walking My Doggy. This one is number 4, Doll Amongst the Cherry Blossom Trees. This one is number 3, sold already, Gladys's Flowers. This one's number 2, sold already, Tom's Flowers. And this one's number 1, Polka Dot Doll. And that's it. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Oh, thanks for the compliment on the earrings. Adrienne says she's gonna get one. Send pics. Send pics of what? I don't know what to send pics of. But message me if you have any questions or email me. Thank you for joining me, and now I'm going to figure out how to upload these things. Okay, bye you guys. Have a good weekend. And